My name is Juliana Crane. I need asylum.
Welcome to the Reich.
Many of the themes of the book, also examining sort of the normalization of certain kinds of extreme behavior, is one that obviously we're confronting in some ways literally today.
We're really curious to see what people get from the show in the current political climate, and I think we're all really, genuinely wanting to see how people react to it given what's going on, because the show is not about specifically our world, right now. It was written in 1962, and the book, the genius of the book is that it addresses these universal issues that are timeless about human rights and, what happens to people when their rights are taken away, what happens to a colonized society. So I think all of us wish it didn't have so much relevance to the world that we're living in right now. But we're all curious about it, right?
Yeah, and the hope is that obviously some debate can be sparked from it, because debate shows that we aren't apathetic, and the fastest way to sort of wind up in a fascist situation or to have your rights taken or to be oppressed is to not be able to do anything or be too apathetic to do anything.
You know I need no charges to order your death.
This time, with all the obvious stuff of the election, there's also the underlying aspect of the East and West. And so we're seeing America from an Eastern perspective and a Western, and how those conflicts play out.
It's fascinating and in some ways scary to think about the what ifs. Mm-hmm. Particularly given the current climate, the what ifs. But I think it's more interesting to explore that.
And it might be similar in a lot of ways. Mm-hmm. If Hitler did take power and maybe it wasn't America, but maybe he took all of Europe and Russia and he did all these things, it might have a very similar outlook. Mm-hmm. So that's interesting to think, actually, if we didn't just kind of alter it that way, right. For America.
My own experience in today's political climate is it's very, very hard to have dialogue. It's hard to be, one, articulate about a point of view, and two, to listen to someone else's point of view and to respond. There's very little room for dialogue. Maybe via television show, you can have a conversation about what's happening to those characters on the other side of the screen. And that could be the beginning of a dialogue that has further, deeper ramifications into our real life. So we're sort of hopeful and interested to see how that goes.